In an age where anyone and everyone has a wide open avenue to voice their opinions on just about anything, it shouldn't be terribly surprising that millions of people use that freedom and power to complain about movies on the internet. While many directors are understandably precious about their work and will die on a hill to defend it, these filmmakers cast their ego aside, mostly anyway, and accepted responsibility for some storytelling sloppiness on their part. With that in mind, I'm Ash from What Culture, and here's 9 directors who admitted their movies have plot holes. 9. Dan Scanlon, Monsters University. Pixar's prequel to Monsters, Inc. depicts lovable monsters Mike Wazowski and Sully meeting at Monsters University at the age of 18. But this directly contradicts the first movie where Mike tells Sully, "You've been jealous of my good looks since the 4th grade." Director Dan Scanlon has openly discussed the issue, stating that they desperately wanted to exploit the monsters at uni premise, enough that they felt fans would look past the continuity derailing nature of the setup. Though Monsters University didn't quite live up to the brilliance of the original, it was still a solid success, and few seemed to much care about the issue because the core premise was so irresistible. Scanlon did later offer up a half-baked explanation though, that since the 4th grade was actually an old monster expression. 8. John McTiernan, Die Hard. Hans Gruber's techie Theo drives an ambulance out of their operations truck at the end of the movie, but a glimpse inside the truck near the start of the film showed there was no ambulance inside, nor any room to fit one. Where the hell did that come from then? Director John McTiernan admitted the mistake in a commentary for the film, and it was apparently a result of the movie's ending not being finalised before shooting began, leading to this hilariously basic continuity error that makes no sense at all. Let's be honest though, it's Die Hard. Do we really care? Or do we just want to see Bruce Willis f*** up Alan Rickman in the name of Christmas? Definitely the latter. 7. Michael Bay, Armageddon. Let me preface this with, of course Michael Bay is on this list. Of course. Why on earth would NASA train drillers become astronauts in order to destroy an asteroid rather than, training astronauts to become drillers? Clearly one of these methods is far easier than the other. This plot hole has been discussed at length by many, but nobody more than star Ben Affleck, who in the film's DVD commentary explained that he raised the issue to director Michael Bay, who promptly told him to shut the f*** up. In fact, Affleck goes on to quite openly tear the whole movie a new one in the commentary, while making it abundantly clear that Bay was well aware of the movie's logic-defying issues, but simply didn't care. At least he's staying on brand. 6. Steven Soderbergh, Ocean's 11. Danny Ocean and his men trick casino honcho Terry Benedict by swapping out his money with a duffel bag full of hooker flyers. But considering that this switch clearly occurs as the bags are carried from the vault to the decoy van, where the hell did the flyers come from in the first place? The film makes it abundantly clear that there's no way anyone who enters the vault could have been carrying the flyers, and to his credit, director Steven Soderbergh totally holds his hands up in the commentary for the movie, admitting there's no remotely plausible explanation for it. The magic of hookers continues to beguile us all. 5. James Cameron, Titanic. Probably one of the most hotly discussed plot holes of all time lies in the question, why couldn't Jack and Rose both fit on that damn door? Rose is a selfish bitch. Jack's death was for nothing. Leonardo DiCaprio was robbed of an Oscar. Death! Maim! Kill! This was brought back into the spotlight in a 2012 episode of Mythbusters, where hosts Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman determined that, by tying Rose's life jacket underneath the door for additional buoyancy, the door would have stayed afloat with both of them atop it. Granted, you can argue that you're not going to be at your most logical with hypothermia about to set in, but even so, writer-director James Cameron himself appeared on the Mythbusters episode and begrudgingly admitted his fault, then denied it again afterwards. That's a spirit, James. 4. James Mangold, Logan. It's firmly established in both the comics and the X-Men movies that Charles Xavier loses his hair due to psychic powers and an encounter with Apocalypse respectively, so why does Charles have a faint head of hair in Logan? Are there now X-Men with psychic toupee abilities, or has he invested in a new hairdresser? Sadly, no. Writer-director James Mangold has acknowledged that many fans have raised the issue to him and suggested a possible explanation that Charles has grown hair because his psychic abilities are beginning to slow down with his advancing mental illness. It seems like a pretty flimsy excuse for something Mangold likely overlooked during production, honestly, and doesn't fit at all with any prior established explanation for Xavier's baldness. But hey, a little hair never hurt anyone. You can't see this, but I'm braiding my armpit hair right now. 3. Pete Docter, Inside Out. After Joy and Sadness end up locked out of Riley's control center with her core memories in tow, they come across maintenance workers who are able to send memories back up to the control center using a recall tube. Why didn't they send the memories back up to the control center using the same tube? Director Pete Docter knew about the problem, and when asked in an interview, matter-of-factly said they wouldn't have had a third act if they'd gone with that option. Admitting that he boxed himself into a corner, Docter added the recall thing later, when they were doing the song that got stuck in Riley's head. Docter did at least attempt to offer a logical explanation whether you buy it or not, stating that Joy wouldn't trust the memories would be fine on their own. She needed to be up there too. Again, 2. Steven Spielberg, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. How the hell did Indiana Jones survive an atomic bomb blast inside a fridge? Lead-lined or not, you don't need a PhD in theoretical physics to know you'd be incinerated regardless. In recent years, director Steven Spielberg has confronted the immense controversy surrounding the gigantic logical leap. Spielberg fully cops the scene making no sense. But hilariously, George Lucas went on to accept the blame for it himself, declaring Spielberg's trying to protect me, and even adding that it was Spielberg who didn't believe the scene. Lucas reportedly responded by giving the director a 6-inch thick file based on spurious scientific data which suggested Indy could maybe, just maybe, survive. So Spielberg knew it was bullshit all along. But does this make the end result better or worse? Let's just forget the whole thing and go back to the good old days of Temple of Doom. 1. Quentin Tarantino, Django Unchained. Why did Django and bounty hunter Dr. King Schultz go to the effort of posing as Mandingo traders in order to access Calvin Candy's Candyland plantation and rescue Django's wife Broomhilda? What's the actual point of this film? Why not just have Schultz, who's German, claim that he heard about a German-speaking slave being auctioned off and propose to buy her? Simple. Huffington Post Mike Ryan actually mentioned this logical leap in his review of the movie, and it caught the attention of Tarantino himself, who had him invited to the movie's press junket to discuss it further. Though Tarantino insisted that Ryan need to think about how Schultz would respond to the scenario rather than himself, he did admit that Ryan's straightforward solution could work, and basically conceded the convoluted, even illogical nature of his own movie. Fair enough. And that's our list. Which of these directors admitting their own failings was the most satisfying for you? Shout it out in the comments section below. I've been Ash and this has been What Culture. Make sure to subscribe to the What Culture YouTube channel for more lists like this. And don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below. And also there's probably more content floating up above my head, so why not check that out as well? Could be a laugh. Probably. 6 out of 10.